Okay, so I have a bunch of my vice grip clamps holding everything together. This is really quite cool. You can see that my drill outs almost perfectly match. So I've been kind of positioning here. I'm going to get my tram gauge out now, and I'm going to check across this radiator support compared to the one I have that's never been damaged. I'll test fit my headlight. I'll probably put some screws in here, drill some more little holes and assemble it with sheet metal screws just to hold it together and make sure everything fits. Hang the fender on it and everything, and the headlight and the nose, and then button it up with the MIG welder. Okay, here on my car that's never been hit, I'm tramming over here to this hole, center of, there's a little clip in there, but I can still bullseye the center of the hole. And I go over here to my mock-up with my tram, and there's my same little clip even. Woohoo! Center of the hole, bullseye! So that means my section job is correct. Now I'm measuring across the end to end a couple more times, but because this has a curvature to each end, the farther out you go, the more certain you are of your accuracy, because if that curvature isn't perfect, then that's going to turn in or turn out the end over there where that outer hole is. So that's the next measurement I'll take, is out to that outer hole that I overlapped. Okay, from our overlapped hole there on the corner over to our same position, we're going to check here and see where we're at. Uh-oh, I'm half a millimeter off. Nah, that's fine. See there, I can wiggle the tram that much. Perfect! Okay, here's a homemade nail tram, for lack of a better word. One thing that works pretty good with these, you need to use a strong cord that doesn't stretch much, but you can actually, where the tram has the long needles, you can actually get under some places where the tram needle won't reach because it has some overlap. So right here, I'm going to put it in this hook here. I'm going to hook it right here in this hole, right in the fender. I'm going to pull it across, and don't cheat yourself and pull this thing until you get it where you think you're right. I mean, you pull it till it's just taut and don't exceed, because you can stretch it and you can see my little black mark. But that's where I measured on my car that hasn't been hit. I have the nail in the opposite hole there, and you can see a bullseye. I'm going to the edge of my hole here, not center like that. I like edge to edge when you're using a string tram. But as you can see, I have a perfectly straight line. It's not hanging over the top of anything. So I just want to demonstrate that you don't really have to always have the expensive tools to do some of these things with the tram gauge. I had spoken in a previous movie about how front end sheet metal on cars is always, almost always, going to X out just the same way as with carpentry. So if you have a shift over, or the front end of a car shifted to one side or the other, you can tram across. And so if you're out 1 inch, you're actually only out 1/2 inch, because when you pull it back 1/2 inch, you're taking away 1/2 inch from your long side. So whatever that difference is on an X measurement, you really only have to move that component 1/2 that distance. So it's really a lot of carpentry skills go in repairing auto body. So there we have it. See if we can get a little angle across the hood. The deer kind of sat on the hood, or his head smacked it or something. But that was pretty caved in, as you can see in this photo of the car when it was damaged. Then I mark with Sharpie where I find imperfections that I need to work on. But these hoods are pretty expensive, real expensive, from Pontiac, and even in the aftermarket. They're nice, the aftermarket replacements, but they cost about $300. So this car's got high miles, and I'm just kind of doing a little personal test here, and actually this is going to turn out real nice. Not going to have very much filler in it. Did a pretty slick little trick using one of my old hoods from a previous job. This whole lip was folded back and the inner structure was kind of wrinkled. So what I did was, again using my air-powered saw, I cut out that whole area, cut out the identical area from the other hood. Well, I had this apart, then that let me get in with spoon dollies and work the skin. I very carefully folded the lip, opened it just enough that I could slide this other piece in there just like factory, fold the lip back, and right now I've got it all tacked into place, and I'm going to put the hood back on the car and make sure all the front edge lines and everything are perfect before I do any body work on it. So it's going to save me some money. Really not a lot of time, actually. Sometimes those aftermarket hoods come in, they're dinged and dented anyway from shipping, even brand new ones. So that was just kind of a little test, and you can see it's going together real nice. I'm doing a butt weld actually here, but a slight overlap all the way across. Kind of a view there across the front edge. So, hey, my 2004 Vibe, it has about 80,000 miles on it, has nice tires, nice car, good history. That smacked a deer. I bought it from a salvage company, and it has a salvage title. I fixed a lot of deer hits in the last 30 years. Part of living in the plains is people driving at night typically. They sometimes collide with deer crossing the road. I like deer hits in the respect that the deer damages the car, but not in the way that an immovable object does. Like I pointed out earlier, this deer wrinkled this corner, but there's no structural damage to the chassis. It didn't deploy the bags. It didn't hurt the front bumper face bar. The plastic nose cover will go again. So the only thing I've bought new so far is a headlight and a fender. I had some leftover pieces from my previous Vibe repair job shown in my earlier movies. So some of those things are going on here. Okay, so here it is all done. That's that radiator support that we showed how you can section it. You see all the little bolts and everything are the right style they're supposed to be. We have to take it off to the detail shop and get it cleaned up. There's my repair on the hood. Take a look there at it. And we'll shut the hood. And there we go. There's our body lines. Kind of zoom back here. Sorry for the wind noise. Windy day. I painted the nose and the hood and the passenger side fender and the passenger side door, base coat, clear coat. Really nice color match on this one. She's standing tall now. There it is. She smacked the deer, and now she's right back like she was. Thank you for watching.